People have to realize how much they're being snookered. People have to realize how much they're actually losing in the process here, that they're giving up control of the nation little by little to what is ultimately now communism. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Michael Voris Show. I'm your host, Michael Voris. We're going to talk about politics today. I know that's like really kind of, an uncontroversial, non-controversial topic and kind of boring. And so, we figured we'd put a sleeper out for you here and talk about politics. Let's first of all talk about a number of issues in politics, being our good buddy Joe Biden. Should he run for office again? Loads, enormous percentages of the American voting public say he's too old. He's ancient. He's decrepit. Should he run again? Well, I don't know about the old and ancient and decrepit part or something. He shouldn't run again because he's the evil man. But, okay, we'll lay the evil side apart right now and just kind of, which is all the theological and the spiritual, and just get straight to this. So, is it the case that somebody should be not running for office or not in office simply because he is too old? What does too old mean? So that's a relative term. Too old in comparison to what? People who are younger than him? Well, there's a lot of people who are younger than somebody who is older, and they're stupid and shouldn't be in office, and the older person is wise and should be. I think the question is, what is your ability? What is your mental ability, your mental agility? And then, of course, what are depending on what the office is you have, what are the physical demands on your body for that office? Okay, so let's go to the mental thing first. My dad, God rest his soul, died when he was 88. And I can assure you, with the exception of hearing problems and things like that just kind of, invade you when you're older, his mental acuity, he was spot on. It doesn't matter what you would bring to him. He would say to me sometimes, Michael, oh my gosh, I can't remember, this or that. And I'd be like, and he goes, I'm afraid I'm going to have dementia. I'm like, Dad, are you nuts? You're not even close to anything like that. So he'd pause. He was 88. He'd pause for a moment and just try to remember somebody's name. And then he'd be Bob or whatever. Could my dad have handled the mental requirements of being president of the United States or being president of a corporation or something like that? Sure, he could have. Could he have handled it for a long period of time throughout a day after day, week after week, month after month? Probably not. He had to take naps during the day, like Biden does. He was retired, so he didn't go on vacation every day. It was kind of like a vacation for him, demands of work. But the idea that just because somebody is old in relation to other people, that they can't therefore have office, shouldn't be in a public office, you can't sort of make that blanket statement. Let's go to a few historical examples here. Let's start recently. Mitch McConnell. Okay, so there's, Mitch McConnell standing there, and he's just kind of forgotten. He'll just hit pause and stare at the camera in the middle of a word. And
what are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
yes.
that raises some questions about, does he have the mental agility to actually do the job? Fair enough. There are some people that if you look at them who have the mental agility, meaning their brain functions, it's not skipping beats, but their IQ is, it would be embarrassing for them if they were in a room full of plants. AOC, for example, seriously, really? She comes off as at the very least, one of the least educated people you could ever find on Capitol Hill. She speaks sometimes like a moron. And it's clear she doesn't understand what she's talking about. she's young, certainly younger than Mitch McConnell. So it doesn't seem very fair or just to go after Mitch McConnell because his body is aging and he therefore, it's kind of to be expected that his mind, his thinking ability, the organ inside his head, his brain will deteriorate to some degree like the rest of his body. It's not fair to go after him for that when somebody like AOC, goodness gracious, I mean, AOC doesn't seem to have 3 cells up inside her skull that all function correctly. What about her when she's 80? Are you kidding me? So, Kamala Harris, who also seems to be one of the, least intelligent people you could ever be around. Is she quick on her feet? Well, not if it's intellectual. She knows how to cackle like anybody's business. She cackles pretty well. But is she up for the job? Well, she's up for the job physically. She can walk around and get on Air Force Two and Marine Two and all that, and she can show up on stage and do, she can meet the physical demands of the job because her body isn't that old. But intellectually, which is really the point when it comes to mental agility, it's not, are you old and do you have a moment where you have to sort of recollect your thoughts? It's, can you think? Are you educated enough? And do you possess the requisite IQ to be able to put thoughts together? I mean, your goodness gracious, you're leading the free world, Joe. I would posit you've never been able to put those thoughts together. And now the rest of your body and your brain are just catching up with what was already a low IQ. The man lied his face off for everything. Remember, I graduated top of my class. No, he graduated at the bottom. You had to plagiarize a speech. He lied about that. And this is Joe Biden's history. The man is not an intelligent human being. That's why he shouldn't be voted into office again. He shouldn't have been voted in to begin with. Well, I'll be careful because it's YouTube, but you can read my mind on that. All that said, I don't think it's fair to just pinpoint somebody, because of their age. Remember this famous moment from that 1984 campaign, Walter Mondale and Ronald Reagan, President Ronald Reagan running for re-election, who, by the way, was nip and tuck with Walter Mondale in the polls during that 1984 run. That was my very first political campaign officially as a reporter. And I remember those days well. Ronald Reagan was being dogged on by the media for being too old. The suggestion, of course, being added on that he's too old to think properly and therefore should not have the nuclear, buttons at his disposal, and he's just old and decrepit and all of that. Here's how that little thing backfired on Walter Mondale, the Democrats, and their Marxist media buddies.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Yeah, old Ronnie Reagan. Thank you for watching The Michael Voris Show. If you'd like to watch the entire episode, please head over to churchmilton.com and sign up as a premium member. If you need to sign up to become a premium member, go to churchmilton.com/go premium.